Yes, hi there. These comments are for KT, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass the TOEFL IBT. Thank you for doing the integrated writing practice. You sent me the email, and I'm taking a look at what you wrote right now. So here we go. You ready? Now what I want to do is show you if there's any changes you need to make. I will tell you what and why, all right? So you say the author in the reading passage claims, maybe put that here, that fast food restaurants contribute to obesity, and you might want to say and are, because you need that other verb, and are dangerous to people in the U.S. But the speaker in the lecture refutes each of those points. So good. So I think overall your introduction is good. Why? Because you have stated the most important point from the reading and the lecture. So the first point reading, you say, in the reading passage, the author claims that fast food is dangerous to people in the U.S. Let's look at this first one here. Now, it doesn't really say anything about dangerous, but it does say that the long-term effects of obesity are a result of the food. So it's saying that fast food restaurants cause obesity. That's what you want to say. So it causes obesity. In contrast, the speaker in the lecture says, fast food provides obesity, misconception, fast food restaurant. Yeah, but what you're doing is, you didn't state obesity. The lecture disagrees with this point. So the quote that you're using, it doesn't even connect back to what you're trying to do. So let's look at the lecture. So let's say, it says, if you look at the second part of the lecture, it says, obesity is caused by an inactive lifestyle along with consuming more calories than are needed in a day. That's the key right there. So then, you got to come over here. You might say, so we have, in contrast, the speaker in the lecture says that obesity is caused, maybe, how about by? I think that's better. Caused by an inactive lifestyle along with consuming. Or how about, we're trying to change the grammar a little bit, right? In addition, maybe, to eating. How about this? And what I'm saying is too somewhere, so let's say eating too much food daily. So now I think we have it. So we have first, in the reading passage, the author claims that fast food causes obesity. In contrast, the speaker in the lecture says that obesity is caused by an inactive lifestyle in addition to eating too much food daily. So you didn't get that. So I don't know why, but you did not get really either point. So you're missing the main point from the reading, you're missing the main point from the lecture here, and that will cause you problems on Monday. So you got to do better than this. All right? So let's go to the next one. Let's see what we have. So you say, second, the author states that fast food restaurants provide fast and cheap food. On the other hand, the speaker disagrees that fast food contributes negatively and says get unhealthy. But remember that the lecture, if you say on the other hand, the opposite of fast is not fast, the opposite cheap is expensive, you have to make sure that you're positioning the same points. You have a point here, a counterpoint here. You see what I'm saying? So you're not really doing that. So let's go back to the reading. So it says that fast food contributes to an unhealthy society that is plagued with high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart disease. Society is unhealthy because the options for fast food are limited. That is the key. They're saying that fast food restaurants don't they don't offer a lot of healthy options. Now notice here, there's nothing here about being fast and cheap. Fast and cheap is something that was said in the first point. So what you're doing is your notes are not very organized. That's part of the problem, I can tell by how you're putting ideas into your writing. So you got to make sure when you're taking your notes, you want to draw a line through the middle of the paper. You have the reading on the left, you have the lecture on the right, you have reading point 1, then you put listening point 1 right on the other side. You need to be able to see how they connect. Then you do reading point 2, then you do listening point 2, and then finally you do reading 3, then listening 3. So your notes, you're getting confused. You have notes, but you're not sure where to put them in your essay. So it's telling me you need to get more organized. All right, so we really here, I'm going to just change this even really. Limited options for healthy food for their, we'll say, patrons. That's kind of what it's saying here. So the options for fast food are limited, although countries like China and Mexico provide options with vegetables and fruit, right? Now we got to go to the next point here. Now remember, the lecture says we have now created options like apples or fruit for kids and more salad options. So then you say, on the other hand, the speaker disagrees. So you're not really saying anything from what was in the lecture here. You're just taking some ideas and putting them in there, but it doesn't really connect. The speaker argues that fast food establishments, so fast food have or offer such as fruits and salads for their You see what I'm saying? Now notice, this is what you got to get here, is what you need to be able to do on Monday is you have to be able to take this idea here, right? Notice how this point, it says here, the author states that fast food restaurants have limited options for healthy food for their patrons. But then the speaker argues you have that fast food establishments offer healthier choices such as fruits and salads for their customers. So this point needs to contradict the point here. They have to be similar. You can't have two separate ideas. If you're talking about limited options for healthy food here, you're also talking about options for healthy food here. So you have what's called the point versus the counterpoint. That's what you're not getting in your writing right now. And that, it's either you just cannot understand what you read at all, or you cannot understand what you're listening to, or you might be having trouble organizing your notes effectively. Okay, let's go to the last one. You say, find where the writer in the reading passage contains what? Or says what, right? So we have to look at what the main point is. It says fast food restaurants encourage gluttony. Gluttony is overconsumption. So then you say fast food restaurants cause people to overeat. You see what I'm saying? Then you say the speaker, however, believes let's see what it says. Let's go over here. So it says that fast food chains do not necessarily promote gluttony. It says that one can overcome gluttony simply by not eating and drinking large amounts of fast food. So they do not necessarily contribute to overeating because it is the responsibility of consumers and I think we have it there. That puts it where it needs to be. So for you, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting a little concerned about you. I'm not sure what the problem is, but your English, remember, this is a level 6 class, so your English is a little bit basic, and you don't seem to be able to get the most important points from the reading and the lecture. So I think I can say that for you, you're having trouble probably understanding what you're reading, you're having trouble understanding what you're listening to, and you're limited with your grammar and your vocabulary in terms of trying to express those ideas. So here's an edited version of what you wrote. Let's read it together. You ready? The author in the reading passage claims that fast food restaurants contribute to obesity and are dangerous to people in the U.S., but the speaker in the lecture refutes each of those points. First, in the reading passage, the author claims that fast food causes obesity. In contrast, the speaker in the lecture says that obesity is caused by an inactive lifestyle in addition to eating too much food. Second, the author states that fast food restaurants have limited options for healthy food for their patrons. On the other hand, the speaker argues that fast food establishments offer healthier choices such as fruits and salads for their customers. Finally, the writer in the reading passage contends that fast food restaurants cause people to overeat. The speaker, however, believes that fast food restaurants do not necessarily contribute to overeating because it is the responsibility of consumers to control how much fast food they eat daily. And that's it. Now, the question for you is, what is your score? That's the important thing. What are you going to get on this thing, right? Okay, so overall, if we look at, well, here we go. Okay, so for you, the problem is you're not really getting most of the important points here. So I'm going to say here, your response contains little meaningful or relevant content from the lecture. Furthermore, you have not presented this information in an organized manner. You organized it well because you had the template that you were working with that I gave you. But if you didn't have that template, you would not have been able to organize this at all, and you really did not communicate the most important points from the reading passage or the lecture. So what does that mean? I'm putting you the lowest. I'm going to put you at 1.0 out of 5 or 8 points out of 30 on this. Now today, I'm giving you 100 points for doing this assignment. Am I right? Because you did it. But if this were Monday, right, a score of 1.0, this is going to put you at 52% on this assignment, so you definitely want to bring your game. You want to do much better on Monday, so you can do that. Make sure you have some notebook paper when you come to class. When you have the notebook paper, draw a line through the middle of that paper. And then you're going to put the main point of the reading passage, and then the main point of the listening. Then you'll put reading point 1, reading point 2, reading point 3. Then, exactly at the same level, at the same area of the paper, but only on the right side, you'll put listening point 1, listening point 2, listening point 3. So you know how to organize the essay more or less, but you just need to make sure that you have a complete and accurate response, I think, to the task. Okay?